Good morning, greetings to each and every one of you watching this video. Today is a very special day and we want to wish all the fathers out there a very happy, blessed Father's Day. To celebrate this Father's Day, I want to share a little message about the role, the purpose and the power that fathers hold. It is very important for us to know and to be reminded of the role a father plays in our life. So here it goes. There are some few points that I want to highlight. The first one is that in order for us to build a nation, we need to have laws. And laws are what helps us to create a culture and helps us to build a community and in the larger picture, a country. In the same way, Moses was also given laws by God so that these laws, these commandments will help us to live a fruitful and a spiritual life. And so if we look into the Bible, we would see this message where it was written that children, you should obey your parents. Children, you should obey your parents in the Lord. Yeah? And then just as it is given in the commandments, honor your father and mother, with a message that if we honor our parents, like if we honor our mother and father, then all the things will go well for you and you will live for a long time in the land. And so it is very important for us to honor our father and mother. But also, here is the tricky part. When it comes to father and mother, it is talking about our biological parents. Yeah, it is talking about our biological parents. But if we look into the passage where it is written, children, obey your parents, we must understand the fact that when we talk about parents, not necessarily that it will be your biological. Yeah, it can be anyone who has been with you for the rest of your life, taking care of you, has been there throughout your childhood, your adolescence, and even now during your adult period. And so it is important for us to understand that we must obey our parents in the Lord. But also it becomes very difficult for us to honor our parents when they are not in the Lord. Yeah, and so here today I would be highlighting a few points regarding the role of a father and the power that a father holds and the entire purpose of why chose God man to become fathers. We cannot call a female a father, right? We call a man as fathers, and there's a purpose why God chose man. And it's important for us to understand and to incorporate all of this into our lives so that we are building good community and country. So coming to the first point, let me share with you about the role of a father, where God chose man to play this role as a father. And if we look at the meaning of father, which is the Abba, it means the source, nourisher, protector, sustaining, and progeneration, which is the source of genes. Therefore, father is the foundation, father is the root, father is the source, father is the genetic pool, and so the power of a father is magnificent. And we should not take it for granted, because the tree is only as good as the roots. And so the family is only as good as its father. The house is only as valuable as its foundation. And the quality of an offspring is determined by its genetic source, which is the father again. And so the condition of the root affects the life of the plant. So it does not matter if the plant is very beautiful, it is massive, it is big, if the root is rotten, then what is going to happen? The tree is going to crumple down in a few years' time. And so comes my second point, where it is important for us to protect the roots. And how do we protect that? We as women, we need to start praying for our husbands. We need to start praying for our husbands, for our fathers. A good woman is someone who would protect the husband by praying for the husband. And if he doesn't make it, then we will all not make it. But it's also very disheartening that sometimes the trust that you put on a man may get disrespected and may lead to divorce, and it's quite painful. It is really hurtful, yes, but we also need to be reminded that the role of a father is something that we should not take it for granted. And so it is very important for fathers to play their role, because no matter how situations are, it is the root that is going to hold it together. And just as we know that when we build a house, it is important for us to give utmost care and priority to the foundation of the house, so that when the house is built, it will remain strong and intact. Similarly, it is important for the root of the family, which is the father, to remain strong, so that the family remains together, as the role of a father holds the family together. Now, coming to the third point is that father receive nutrients for the health of the family. So it is very important for fathers to also spend time with the Lord. And if you're not spending time with the Lord, then there's a danger, because your family is only as spiritual as you are. You are the nutrients which will feed the ideas, which will feed. You will act as a counselor, the information, the revelation, the one who come up with confidence and security for the family. You are the one that is going to hold everything together. It is just not the name father. It is bigger than your title. Now comes the fourth point, where father guarantees fruitfulness of the family. And how do we guarantee fruitfulness of the family? It is by spending time. Spend time with your children. Make sure you're giving them love, care, encouragement. If you have to kiss them, you can. If you want to hug them, you can. Because these are all source of nutrients that you are investing on your children. Then comes the fifth point, where father protects in times of crisis. And how do we know that? When there is a hurricane, if a tree has a very strong root, then what happens? No matter how much the wind is, the tree is going to remain intact. But if the root is weak, then it is going to fall off. In the same way, the role of a father is so important that in times of crisis, it helps in protecting the family. It does not give up, it remains strong. And so, we must understand that when it comes to marriages, the woman by herself alone, she's doing just fine. But when you get into that communion with your husband and you get married, then sometimes it so happens that the husbands will wreck the life of the wife. Once they have children, the husband may start complaining, saying that, why did I marry you? You're giving me so much of problems. And and so on. But that should not be the case, because you are supposed to be strong, and you are supposed to make sure that you protect the family in times of crisis. You don't start throwing the chairs, you don't start throwing things. No, that is not how things work. You only put a ring on it if you can keep it. And you have put that ring on it because you know you can keep it. And with that ring comes responsibility which a father needs to play. Now comes the sixth point, where father works behind and under the scene. Yeah? Father works behind and under the scene. So you would find that fathers is not going to go around bragging about the tree. No, they work behind the scene, and they make sure that they bring food for the family. They provide the needs for the family. And doing that creates a responsibility among the children, that as they grow up, they become responsible because they know that it is the duty, it is their responsibility. And so fathers are like a miracle worker who is not going around bragging about what they have done, or how they are paying the rent, or how they are bringing food to the table, to the house. No, they are working behind the scenes, making sure everything is in order. And so, with this special message, I want to give it out as a challenge to all the fathers out there, that we must be like the Father in heaven. A challenge for all of us out there. And I hope through this message we will be able to build strong, like-minded men who are going to be responsible fathers, building very good communities and country for our future. Thank you everyone, and may God bless you all.